as a community can do better.
What do you want to tell your children about this moment?
We need reforms.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we stand together.
Everybody's here together, black, white, brown, everybody.
A platform for progress in our community.
We need to do a better job.
I want to show that we can be peaceful.
This is just as much our fight as it is yours.
Discussing the problems of racial inequality and solutions to combat discrimination in a conversation for change.
We'll be able to build on this.
I never in a million years thought I would embrace a cop like that.
From Wish TV, we stand together.
Some academics are very important, but others live academia. That is the case with this individual. She's just been named the dean of the Fred S. Klipsch Educators College at Marian University.
Yeah, Kylie, we're talking about Dr. LaTonya Turner. She is the first African-American dean in Marian University history. Her leadership and drive have helped develop and grow the college program. Her goal? To make sure students are equipped to maximize their potential. And we continue now our series, We Stand Together. Memorial Day feels like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. And unfortunately, we all saw that video on Memorial Day, the George Floyd video. When you first saw it, what went through your mind?
When I first saw it, it was, I thought that there was a lack of humanity being given on the part of the officers. And I think that that's always first and foremost in my mind, especially being at an institution like Marian University. Our sisters of St. Francis Oldenburg, who were really at the forefront of the whole social justice fight at a time when higher institutions of learning were still trying to figure out how to be in that fight, just rings so near and dear to my heart. And I know that one of the core values that they really believe in, and I do too, is dignity of the individual, which goes to humanity. Yeah. So a lack of humanity being shown.
What about the weeks after, the protests and the changes that have been made and the fight to make more change?
Wow, I have been so impressed with our young people who are going out there and seeing that it's not just someone who looks like me who has been a part of those protests, but you see it from every race, creed, ethnicity, whatever word you want to use to describe who you are. And it's not just male or female, it is those who are of just various genders and sexual orientations as well, who are a part of that fight. And we have to recognize, I probably am a lot older than what people often think that I am. I am of the baby boomer generation. So it's not our fight, it's their fight now. We just need to be there to support them. So I was just so in awe of seeing just the cross-section of people who were taking part.
I was going to say, you've lived this history, you've studied this history. Is that the difference? That it's not only the black community that is putting up the fight now, it's everyone. Is that, in your opinion, one of the biggest differences with this case?
Oh, most definitely. And again, it goes back to dignity of the individual or humanity. So you are seeing a cross-section of the human race coming together.
Yeah. How does that make you feel? That you're seeing these proud.
Proud. And I have a son who, I guess he's in the millennial group. He's 25. I don't know the generations X.
Right.
And so to know that someone like him is now coming up and taking that stand on behalf, again, of everyone, not just the black community, but of course it's first and foremost right now at the forefront of everything, but I have to just keep going back to it's about humanity, the human race.
Sure. With some of the changes that we've seen so far, are you, one, on board, and two, do you think more change is needed?
And when you say changes, Phil?
Any policy changes that we've seen across the country, social media changes, really anything?
Yeah, I am, but I also think about what is going on within our university, and I want to just go to what we're doing, the Klipsch Educators College. Back in 2016, the vision of our president, Dan Elsner, and our former dean, Dr. Ken Britt, who is now taken on another role within the university, really decided to rebrand, redesign our College of Education. And at the core of what they were thinking about were diversifying the workforce. That was extremely important, and extremely important to me, that our students, our children out in K-12 are able to see, in particular, students of color, the teachers that look like them. But it's not a benefit just to our students of color. It's a benefit to all students to be able to see teachers who cross the human race. So,
yeah, no doubt about that. Speak to that a little bit. What are some of the changes that have been made here at Marian University over the years, and changes maybe going forward now after this incident?
Diversifying the workforce, the teacher workforce, and we've had a keen focus on recruitment of students of color, because we know from the research that access to education or higher education is often an obstacle for our students of color. And so that has been a focus for the Klipsch Educators College. But one of the things that we have been talking about as of recently, because of all that's been going on, is starting to really be an anchor within the community and partnering with our schools, our school partners, and our partners that we have out in various community organizations to start having this dialogue on anti-racism, that movement, and the impact that it's having on schools. And we just recently hosted a Zoom meeting last week where we brought our partners together, both schools, school districts, and community partners, to have that conversation. And while being on that call, I had one of these aha moments, like, this is what we are really supposed to be doing, because it not only benefits our schools or school districts and community partners, but it benefits us. And we had our faculty on that Zoom call as well, so they're able to hear what's going on within the schools and being able to also give some guidance, advice. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, we need to have our students as a part of this conversation as well, because going back to what we had talked about before, they're at the forefront of all of this for us. And so I know now that we need to continue to keep having those kind of conversations, because the vulnerability and the courage that many of the representatives that were on that call showed was just, I was in awe of. And the amount of resources that they were sharing back and forth, I thought was just amazing. So,
you've been in education for a long time. What would you like to see change to maybe make for a brighter future when it comes to race relations in this country?
I start with I end with how I started, and that's more focus on how do we become better human beings. I also think that we need to do a better job of engaging our parents, because oftentimes in education we make assumptions about our parents that I don't know that are necessarily true. Sometimes they just don't know what they don't know in order to help better the lives of their children. So humanity, starting with humanity. How do we help our students, the students that we serve, the families that we serve become better human beings?
Be nice to one another.
Yep, be nice to one another.
That easy, right? Now, remember, you can also listen to our We Stand Together podcast anytime. Find tonight's episode and others online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
From Wish TV, we stand together. Watch, read, listen, and be a part of the conversation online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Find more episodes of We Stand Together and other podcasts from Wish TV online anytime at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.